to our channel, Loving Handcrafts by B&W. This is Brenda. So today I'm going to be bringing you a thermal cinch project like I promised. And I'm going to start my project in Design Space. And you don't have to do this. I did cut the project out using a paper trimmer for these particular basic items. So let me just show you what I've done. So in Design Space, I put together two squares. So let me start off saying that the notebook will end up being 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's the size of the paper paper insert that's going inside the notebook. Now you can cut this out by hand, any color cardstock that you have, any printed pattern paper, you can do this. You certainly do not have to do this on your Cricut. The reason I did this on my Cricut is because I don't have a border punch in my crafting area. I have my Cricut because I don't need a border punch. I didn't need to feel the need to buy a border punch or a paper punch because I have the Cricut. So let's see. I ended up doing two squares and I made them slightly bigger. So I went to shapes, picked up this square, and I'll start with the basic sizing of this first item. So I'm going to change the dimension, so the size lock. So it is, width is 4 1/4 and height is 5 1/2. So that's what we'll do first. Okay, then my thought process was, and I'll put a lock. I want this, let me, if I can. Okay, cursor, any day you can cooperate. It's over here on the other side, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I wanted this item to be slightly bigger than my paper. So I just went up just a tick. That's too much. So I'll go down just a tick. Okay, I think that's where I landed. I might have landed here. But I also just wanted to keep my my height at 5 1/4. So let's do that. 5 1/2, I'm sorry. So I went here. It's all this little measuring. You don't have to do this. I just thought it kept everything just a little bit. So I would have just a slight lip over my paper that I cut. Okay, that's really simple. I changed the color to white. I keep losing my mouse. There it is. I changed that from white, from black to white. So make that change. And then I duplicated it. And I went over here to the other side where the layers are and clicked on duplicate. So that's pretty basic. Like I said, you don't have to do this in your Cricut. You can certainly do this on a paper trimmer or anything of that nature. If you have a punch, a paper punch, just know that this piece here is intended to be at least 3 inches. It's a little bit bigger, and that's fine. But definitely by 5 1/2 is the height. So I went into, if I can remember, I think I did shapes, more shapes, or if I did shapes, I did images. I can't remember. I need to write that down. Oh, here we go. Search shapes. So I searched for a scallop border. So it's in my search down here. So I'm looking for something that would fit my need. It doesn't have to be a scallop border. It could be any border you want, but I was looking for something like a half border like that. So you just have to search. Again, if a lot of these are access, so you might have to have Cricut access. If you see something you like, you can modify it. I don't remember if I bookmarked what I picked up. Like that looks like something you could use. Actually, you could have used this whole, you could have used this as well. That would be pretty cute. And you just go through and you determine what you would like to use. Now, depending on what you find, might have to do some modifications. So I can't really find that. Let me see if I bookmarked it. But that's okay. I'll go back to the canvas. Let's close this. And so the idea being, when I print this out, let me bring this to the front, then it's going to cover this. It looks like, yep. So this is going to be the band that ties these two covers together. Okay. Then I wanted to make sure that I had something on the front of my book. Oh, can I put it over here? Like, so this would be here. So let's do that. Let's put that up there. And then we can send this to the front. I just right clicked on my mouse. And then I just looked for some images already in Design Space, and that I could actually decorate the front of my cover. So for that, I went to Images. I put in, I think, iris. I wanted some purple flowers. And then here, I knew I needed to do a print then cut. So that's what I was looking for. And you can pick any flower. That would be pretty. It's just the one big element. Let's see. So you just kind of search for whatever you're looking for until you find something that you like. And so yeah, just keep looking. This is half the fun. You just search for whatever. If you don't like that, you can change your parameters. And so I just took out and I put in irises. Oh, let me bookmark that because that's pretty. That one, let's see. I did have a second choice. And I was definitely looking for an image that had already had a white background. So it looks like a die. That would have been nice. That was pretty. So yeah, you just pick what you like. Well, that would have been a nice background. Well, that would have been nice. So yeah, there's some things that you can do. So once I picked my design, let me see, I'll just bring it back in. Let me go back to images. Back up. I'll show you what I ended up doing. Wait a minute. Bookmark. Here we go. Okay. So it came in fairly big. Let me close this out. So then the next thing I did, I knew I wanted a sentiment. So I knew I wanted a sentiment, so I just thought of something. So I went to text, and then I just typed in, instead of take every moment, you could use, let's just use capture every, whoops, moment. Alright, make sure nothing's spelled wrong, because my crazy butt will make sure something is spelled wrong. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so that looks pretty good, right? Capture every moment. Capture. Let me make sure I spelled that right, because Brenda can't spell. Willie's a speller in the house. I think I got an extra U in there. Yep. Okay, every moment. Okay. Perfect. All right, so now I have my little sentiment taken care of. what I'm going to do is go up to Advance, click on that, and then I'm going to ungroup line because I want this to come up just ever so slightly. I want to make this closer to this. I'm going to make sure that everything is still, whoops, the words are still centered. Now you could take the opportunity at this point, let me see if I can grab both of them, and just make sure that they're centered. There we go. Yep, they're still looking good. You can take, let's see, I don't want to undo the letter. I would like to bring every together, but we'll see. We'll play with it. You can change it, before I was doing that, you could change your font up at the font, and you can pick something like, hey, there you go. Look at that. It has capture. Let's try that. See if you like that. Okay, that's pretty. And where did it go? I don't know where that font went. It's, oh, vintage champagne. Oh, Lord Jesus, vintage champagne. Picked the wrong thing. Vintage champagne. There we go. Looked at the wrong thing. Okay, that's my font. You can do a little bit more than what I just did, but there you go. I'm going to change the color to kind of match my flowers, so I'm going to go back up to operations. Just gonna pick a purple. Let's see, I want a lighter purple. If you want it even lighter. Nope. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now you can click on Advance if you don't like that, and that's not purple, that's blue. No wonder it's not looking right. Nope. But if you wanted it on the lighter of that, you can just go here and just kind of play with the coloring. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So now, I know I don't want this to print. I want this to print out with an offset. So I am going to highlight all of this and then click on offset at the top. Again, because I want it to kind of look like, yeah, that looks good. I played with the setting. What I'm wanting to ensure is that all these words are connected, so I can get one big offset, and I'm going to then change the background under operations to white. Yep, everything looks good. All the words are together. So now I am going to situate this like right behind that ever so slightly. And then what I want to do is go like this, highlight both of them, and then align, center, and then now it's, whoops, okie dokie. All right, let's not do that. Let's undo this. Let's flatten this first to make this one layer. How about that? There we go. Now, go back here, highlight it, both layers, and then align center. There we go. Now, while they're both together, I want this to print out as one unit. So I am going to do it, no, flatten. So now you're telling, well, what is it too big? What is it? It's too big. We're going to have to resize it anyway. Okay, there we go. It didn't like the sizing. I actually like the darker purple, but I'm not going to cry about it right now. So now you can go in and resize this. So you're definitely going to have to bring this down a little more. So I'm just resizing it until you get to where you like it. And remember, I'm at 50%, so it's a little bit, I'm just at 50. So now you're looking pretty good. So now I got my base, my two covers, my spine, so to speak, and my and my element all in one. And the reason I wanted to print out or get one element is I didn't want to have to go to my die cut and die cut something or color something or do something else since I was already here in Design Space. But I really like this. I might turn this into a sticker because I really, really like that. But I like it with a darker purple. Matches those flowers better. So if I would have done it, I would have redo this with a darker one. But there you go. I'm going to delete this because I don't need that. I was just showing you how I did that. I don't need that. I'm going to hide this and hang on to it because I can always reuse it. But I'll just hide that. So this is what I'm ending up with. I think one of these are where I initially did this and they weren't together. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Click on here. I'm going to change my canvas to gray. So if I had done this initially, you can see that the take moment is great, but every is not attached to anything. It should be attached to the take. So what I ended up doing is redoing it and then having to attach it again right here. So now you can see when I print, when I did print this out and cut this out, this is on its own where these two are together. Not that, you know, it's not ideal, but I worked with it, but it's not ideal. Okay, so that's why I ended up too. Let me change my canvas back. Blank canvas, click there down at the bottom, change my color back to white, and we're good to go. So then you can cut this on your Joy if you have a Joy Xtra. So I just did that. We will be scoring this, but this is what it would look like. And then I can get two on this mat, and then this is by itself, and this is how it's going to print out. And if you wanted to do two at a time, then you would just increase your copies. All right, that takes care of like the design part. There's some more stuff we need to do, so I'm going to reset and bring you down to my work surface so we can get assembling this particular notebook and plug in my thermal web and keep going. So we're back on the work surface, and I have a visitor today. This is Willie. He's in the studio with me.
How y'all doing?
All right, so we're going to get started. I wanted to show you kind of the concept of what this all looks like after putting it together. So this was my prototype. So we're going to kind of recreate this as well. And Willie's going to do a lot of this work. So this is what I put together. We'll see if I can do a little bit better job. I might have wanted to put that back through the thermal press again because it wasn't tied up against that. But that's okay. These things happen. So this is the paper that I was telling you about. I have a stack cutter. So I cut my paper 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This is just regular copy paper, and I just did a whole bunch. I didn't count the sheets. There are about 40, maybe 50 sheets in here in this particular booklet, so we'll just keep that in mind. So that's the paper, so you will need some copy paper. I did go into my stash and use 2 sets of these, like, purple?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Purple.
Purple color. So these are 2 12 by 12 sheets I just cut down so I could use them on my Joy. And then here are our front covers. So we're going to actually emboss these two, and Willie's never embossed, right?
No.
So we're going to dry emboss this, and we're going to do this. Oh, different color.
It's in the purple family.
Yeah, I kind of like that one better, but that's okay. That works. So we're going to emboss this, and this. Let's see. Then this is the glue. This is the thermal cinch glue strip that's going to go into the spine. That's going to go here. So I just cut this. Whoops! I just cut this up. I'm going to use some parchment paper. You will need a scoring, some type of scoring board. So we're going to use that. And then I have a whole thing of binder clips that I'm going to use to keep everything together when we bind it. So I'm going to bring over the embossing. We're going to do all the embossing first. Before we do the embossing, Willie, would you like to score? Show you how to score something. He's never scored anything. Okay, this is the scoreboard. So I'm going to step out the way and let Willie get comfortable. He's better at measuring too.
So we're looking at scoring here.
Okay. So we're going to have to score exactly in the center. So this is the wraparound. So I got a score here. So it's a 1 quarter score. So 1 1/4. No, half a quarter. Quarter of an inch.
So it's a 1/4 of an inch.
Yeah, right? That's what that is. So you find the center. Here's a little scoring tool. So you want to take that out here. Yep. So we're looking for the center point of this. So I think this is about, I don't know if you can see.
This is 3 1/2. No.
3 and
Almost.
6/8 or something like that. All right. So if it's what, 1 1/2, if it's 3
It'll
inches.
be about 1 1/2 right
So
here.
you go.
Maybe just look right here.
So you go, yep. So you got to do a quarter, just a spine. No,
Right.
turn it the other way. That's that way. It's
Okay.
like a little knife. So imagine.
Right here.
Yep. And then you're gonna do where's the center at?
This is center.
Okay. What is it? What I can't. Can you see the little inches at the top? Can you see that?
Okay. 3/4.
Okay.
1 3/4.
But okay. One moment.
It's gonna be 1 3/4.
Wait. So remember, I guess we'll make sure I can cut another piece. So if this is the center, remember you got to go in between these. So you got to do one tick on one side and one tick on the other from the center. So if it's a 1/2 inch, right? You do
So you go here.
one over here and then one on the other side and a
Yeah.
1/2 inch.
There and there.
Yep.
Okay, so there and here.
Just straight down. Just put your little knife in the groove and go straight down. Yep. Perfect. And then
There's 1
make sure you got, yep. Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna
Yep.
press it.
Perfect. You're not gonna mess with it. Okay, now hold on. Keep that in place. I need you to make 1 extra score line on this side of the book, on this score line. Just 1 more. And I'll tell you why. We're
Right
gonna do
with
that.
it?
Nope, on the next to it.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. And then I want you to do the other one on the other side.
Same way.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why we do that. Okay. The reason we did that extra score line
For the breakaway.
is when we fold the book over, when you fold it flat, it can kind of fold flatter on both ends. So it won't lay exactly flat, but it will lay flatter. Without that extra score line on this side,
Do around.
yep, and then this side. And this is the channel, so this is where we're going to stick the glue stick. Okay? Here we go. Perfect. Did an excellent job.
Thank you very much.
Willie's better at math than I am. So we need to get our, we got to fold it back. Stay there. Let me grab it. I had my big bone folder.
You what?
Slide over. There's this, okay, here we go. We need a spatula because we now got to do the crease. Okay, now we've got to crease everything. So you just take that, you got the concept?
Do them all.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All in the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's gonna be kind of hard with that one.
Yeah, it is. Oh, you can take it off here and see it that way.
That's gonna be kind of hard with that one. I'm messing it up.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Go from the back
Mm-hmm.
into the front.
And there you go. Alright, now you can take this and yep, see you got your little nice channel. Here you can take this and swoosh it down.
Push it down.
You can make it crisper. So this one, this first one, just make it a little bit crisper. And then you would do that with all the other creases as well. Yep, there you go. You've never done that before either, have you?
I've done it with other items, but
not
with this.
Yeah.
Try to keep it where it won't buckle. Is it like iron clothes?
Go up front. Push it up. There you go. Now you're.
Now to the other side. What you see?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this could crack. The paper's cracking a little bit, but that's fine.
I'm a little heavy-handed.
It's gonna break this fine anyway. Kind of like. But you're pretty good. Okay, so that's step one. So we got the crease in. While Willie's doing that, I'm gonna grab the first embossing folder.
There we go.
Okay, hang on to that piece. Alright, we'll move everything out of the way. I'll put up the scoreboard. We don't need the scoreboard.
There we go.
Hang on to that, because we gotta do something else. So we gotta put these in there. We gotta put these with that little decorative piece.
Okay.
So move that out the way. Move this out the way. So I'm gonna use the intricate since Willie's never used. I'm gonna bring it in. Willie's never used this.
No.
Take off all my tape.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty big. We're gonna move it over here.
We're going to put it at.
Yeah, you gotta remember. You gotta crank it. So you gotta turn it the other way. You gotta crank it.
Okay.
So, you really can't. I wish I could back the camera off a little bit. I'm sorry, it's all in your face. But this is the embossing folder that we're going to use. It's from Spellbinders. It's from the embossing folder of the month. It's the 3D embossing folder. So, Willie, lay that in here. Flat.
Right into the outside and inside.
Just lay it down like that.
Okay.
Just bring it back in there.
You can see it?
Yep, you can see it. Huh?
Go ahead.
You can, you could miss the paper. I'm not going to miss the paper. So I'm going to close it up in the embossing folder, right? So let me grab the sandwich. Hold that. Yeah, you got to, it's stuck. You got to.
Oh, I just rotate with it.
Okay.
That way you can see it.
All right. This is the platform and then that we're going to use. So we're going to take this, put that back in there straight. Can you straighten up the paper a little bit? Now what I really like about this is that it has a dial system. So it has tighten, and then it can tell you if it's 3D, letterpress, die cut. So normally I do this off camera, but this is Lily's first time. Alright, so before we get everything done, see that dial?
Yes.
It says, is it on? Well, it says
3D emboss.
okay, that's where you want to do it. If we were just doing letterpress or 2D emboss, we switch here. And if we were doing a die cut, we switch here. So we're going to put it back to 3D. This down here can loosen or tighten your pressure on your platform.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So right now it's kind of loose because this is a big thing. So now we open back up. Put this here. You put your embossing folder here. And then this is the mat that goes on top. And all you got to do is crank it. Just
It's already in order?
Yep, it's already ready. Get it. Oh, gotta push it. Got it through. If it doesn't want to go, hold on. Let me make sure everything's up. You gotta have it straight. There we go. Now, it's done.
Y'all see it moving?
Yep.
I gotta keep pushing or holding?
Yeah, just keep going. I'll hold it. You just keep cranking it. Alright, we're going to do the other one off camera. Okay, keep going. It pops. There we go. Alright, take it out the folder. Reveal it, show.
Movies.
This is the first time Willie has ever embossed anything. You put that over to the side. We got to do 2 more things.
Okay.
Okay, give me the embossing folder. That one that's underneath the parchment paper.
Oh.
Okay, switch out embossing folders. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Here you go. These should be a little bit easier. Okay. Okay. You gotta open it. Yeah, open it and put those in.
What?
Push them in. Pull it out. It's got suction cup. There you go.
Over this way. There you go.
Yep. Alright. So, here's the next embossing folder we're going to use. We're going to use this one. Oh, let me put this down. Close. Push those in. There you go. Now that's suction. Alright. So now we got to do these 2 pieces of our cover. We're going to emboss these. So, go ahead and put one in. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can get it in there straight as you like. Put it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. These kind of look like books. That's why I chose them. Okay, when you're ready, turn it the other way. Like the, yep. Put that on top.
So that's lined up.
One up there. Alright, you crank and I'll hold.
Oh, let's get them even.
You crank, I'll hold. It's a little bit easier than it.
Yeah, I got it back.
And then you can always adjust the pressure. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and reveal that one.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, perfect. All right, let's do the next one. There you go. There you go. Oh, Willie embossing. You gonna help put it together. I'm just showing you how to do it.
I'm just gonna follow suit today.
Yeah, I usually do this off because it makes the camera shake and everything. But I usually do this off camera, everybody, because it's a lot of moving through.
There you go.
Okay, there you go. You reveal that. I'm gonna use this after we're done with the embossing folder, so we can take it away.
Yeah, see there? Just say Willie did it.
Yep. All right, give me that. Got both of those. Okay, so that's done. We can put that wrap on that. Put that up and straighten up everything. Now we're going to take this and this. So now, as you can see, Willie, I don't know if they can see this. There is a emboss and a deboss. So you can you see the difference? Feel it?
I see the emboss over here, and then turn around and see me, deboss.
Deboss. You are deboss. Okay, so what we're going to do now, back to this, is we're going to put this glue stick in this channel we created here. So we're going to have to kind of refold our paper and retrain our paper. Oh, just a tad to get back our crease. Can you see that? To get our channel back. Okay. This is the glue stick from, I used 1/2. There's a adhesive back to the back, and you want to get it lined up in that channel. And then what you want to kind of do is, just get that lined up in the channel, and I'll get the scissors.
You want to stick it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get it started for you, because we're going to need the scissors. So let's move that up a little bit. You can roll up a little. So here is the adhesive, so you get it started. And then you just stick it in that. Hold on. Yep, you do it.
Stick it in the crease and then pull it as you go.
Yep. Now, look, can you, did you push it down?
No, not yet.
Slide it up a little bit, not so close.
Inside or outside?
Inside. Just a tick. There you go. So the glue won't seep out when we heat it up.
Take it out slowly.
Yep.
Keep your hands back.
And then again, not too when you get to the edge, not so close to the edge. Like give you a little bit, like a quarter or eighth of an inch
right
or
here.
something.
Let's go ahead and cut.
Yeah, here you
from the inside.
I can't see it, so you're gonna have to cut it. There you go. That's it. Alright, let me make sure we're in the channel. So now that's the sign, and then that's it. Now you don't have to use the brand from We Are a Memory Keeper, but you can. But I just have a bunch of them. All right, so now that's done. Our covers are going to go in between. Like this is our back cover, this is our front cover, and then our paper is going to go in between these two covers. But now we got to get the cinch going. All right, so let's get that. Before we get the cinch going, let's grab those papers. Stack of papers.
All of them?
Yeah, you can grab it. Yeah, we can't use all of them in our book, but Lily's going to be cutting my paper for me from now on because obviously I'm still not good at it.
Let me take these 3 stacks of these.
Oh, yeah, you got to see how much it's going to fit in that
crease.
In that spine. That's my stomach. Can't put through. No, wait.
I'm just saying.
So you got, and factor in the covers now.
Yeah.
Make sure you got the right side, like the emboss or deboss. So if you're gonna do them, make sure they're both going in the same direction. And then we're gonna be using these guys. So I'm gonna get the alligator tape out.
Not actually putting it together, just so
we're doing a dry fit right now. Because we're gonna have to do that before.
How does it look?
Yeah.
Head up first.
Yeah. No. Tamp. Get them all settled. Do you have enough room? Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay, that looks good. So you gotta tamp it that way. Because the idea is to keep this tight. So we want to keep this glue stick tight to these as possible. Does that make sense?
There you go.
And you just keep settling it and tapping till it settles. Alright, and so what I'm going to do, this is my personal preference. I'm not going to glue this bad boy down. I'm not going to glue this flap and this flap down just yet.
After.
Right, so these are kind of a little meshes.
Alright.
It's okay. Alright, so once we get everything lined up, so does that look centered? You got to get everything centered. Yeah, you got to keep tapping.
What's that?
I'm going to show you how to do it.
And mind yourself, some of these cuts are off.
Yeah, and I got a paper stacker, and I didn't get perfect cuts, but that's okay. It's handmade. Okay. So to protect this, we're going to use this to wrap around before we cinch it. We're going to kind of do it, like right here. So we're going to use our alligator clips, but I don't want to put an indentation in here. Normally you would glue this down. I'm going to glue it at the very, very end because this is how Brenda rolls. So I'm going to use the binder, and that's why I got this big paper to wrap around here to hold it in place. But I don't want this to increase my paper, so I'm just using these scraps of paper is just to keep it from holding. That look good? Let's see. Let's undo.
Let's undo the paper.
Yeah, I know.
Push much as you can from outside.
Yeah, and that's good. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that's gonna hold that in spot, and then we're gonna do it again. I don't want to open that up. Here, wrap that around there. You gotta be a camera, baby. You're not used to. Look at the camera.
I see it.
Okay. All right, so we're ready to actually get the thermal cinch heated up.
Okay.
We're ready for that. Okay. So outside of that, we got some parchment paper. You know what I'm going to use with that parchment paper? Right here. So when we put it, we're going to protect it in case the glue oozes out. It'll ooze out on the parchment paper, not on my bottom of my thermal cinch. No, that's optional. You don't have to use the parchment paper, but that's what I have. Okay, we'll put that aside. We're set, ready to go. Let me bring that over. The thermal cinch is on the other side of the craft room. Okay, here you go. That's what it looks like. So this is what it looks like, Willie. So you've got a timer. This is a turn it over. This has a on and off button on the side right there. And then this goes in and your stuff goes down in there. So that's where the hot stuff is. You want to go ahead and plug it up for me? It's right there.
Just make sure you got enough outlets to support everything you're doing here.
Go ahead and turn it on. So when you turn it on for the first time, you heard a beep beep, and then the light is blinking. So we just have to wait for the light to finish blinking before we can put anything in there. Nope. It won't be there. So see how the light is blinking? You gotta wait for it to stop blinking.
Yeah.
So coffee break. Come off the coffee break.
Thank you.
So, what you think so far? Willie's you've never made a notebook, right, with me before, have you?
Never at all.
You've never embossed before?
Never.
Not bad, huh?
No, I felt good. It's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm. It takes a couple minutes for this to come up. Now, I've got another, and I'll try to remember to link to my video. For the thermals, I think I've got 2 videos on the thermal cinch out there. So I haven't done this in a while. This has been over about a year since I've used it. That's why I said Willie's gonna cut my paper because he's gonna get even stacks.
When Willie's not busy.
But you're better at precision things than I am.
You all remember practice. Practice make perfect.
But with the stack cutter, you can't do like 1 or 2 pieces of paper. It's intended for
A stack
of papers to cut all at one time. So we'll just wait. Should be finished heating up. We should have started this before we put it together.
Practice with old sheets.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah. I can get some recycled paper.
Recycle paper and practice. That way you start getting it.
All right. So
here
now
we go.
Ready. Okay. Go ahead. You got it.
You're gonna let me do this.
Now make sure when you stick it in there, it's hot.
Oh, it's hot. That's what I'm catching from the top.
You gotta make sure. Okay. See how you can see those two things in between.
Yes.
These things right here.
Yes.
You gotta make sure that bottom of that spine is hitting that heat plate.
Okay, y'all watching.
You gotta push it down in there. Make sure it's all the way down in there.
It's in there.
Is it down?
Yeah.
Hit the bottom?
There we go. Y'all hear that, didn't you? It's not moving.
Alright, now get the timer. We press the button, it says timer, and that's all you gotta do.
Alright.
And then we'll just wait. We'll usually play music.
Does that make it toast?
It is. That would have been clever if that sucker popped up. That would have been clever if they had it in there just like toast, and you push it down. You have a lever, and you push it down.
Hint,
And
hint.
then it pops back up. That would have been clever.
Hint, hint.
Yeah.
Don't try to patent what we just said.
Mm-hmm. We're so insignificant. Our channel is really insignificant, so there's not going to be any of that at the moment. I have been on a purple phase.
All the time.
For whatever reason, everything I'm doing is purple. So we just wait for it to... Now, once it goes through its cycle and heats up the glue, we're going to take it out and look at it and do a few things. Now, you can run it through the cycle again if it doesn't look like it's caught the paper. So we'll be back once it's finished. So it just beeped, so the blue light just stopped flashing here. So we're going to pull it up. And this parchment paper does do a good job. I'm going to move this out the way. I'm going to open it up and look at it. And then we're going to tamp it.
Just to make sure.
Just tamp it down to get that glue to settle in between those pages. And if it doesn't look like your glue is set, you can run it back through. Like we've got some. Let's run it right back through. I'm not going to let it go the whole cycle. I'm just going to send it back down in here and make sure it's in there. I'm not going to let it go the whole time. So we're going to give it a few more minutes, about a minute. And I want to get that glue reheated. And then we're going to leave it alone. Because I really want those individual pages to get the glue in between. So one more minute. But I hadn't done this in a while, so I'm a little out of practice. But the more you make, the better you are at it. It's like Willie said it. Practice, practice, practice.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we're about there.
Yeah, almost.
About 10 seconds.
Yeah. Because I don't need it to go through the whole cycle. I just want to reheat that glue up. And then I'm going to let it rest once it finishes. I'm just using it on my watch.
What about now?
Yeah, almost. Gotta go to 40.
Okay. 2, 1, now.
Okay. We take it out, and then we're gonna leave it alone. We're gonna. Oh no, you got. We're gonna just now on the side. There's this little thing. We're just gonna let it rest and hang out right here. And then once it comes back, we gotta wait 5 minutes. I'll be back. Okay. So we're done. Everything went out. We let it go through. We let this sit for about 5 minutes before we touched it. So we'll allow the glue time to open up. Go ahead, Willie. I'm sorry, I'm not sitting down.
I'm going to go ahead and open it up.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to show you what else we've got to do. That's the back side. Okay, there we go.
Here we go.
All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look through.
And that's the
And
first
that did not
stick.
So we're going to have to go back and...
But we'll make that stick when we rip it.
No, we got to... Well, yeah. See, that stuck back there.
Yeah, but we can fix that.
But we're going to fix that. Yep, Willie's absolutely right. We're going to glue this down.
No, anyhow.
We're going to glue it down to this. So there is a fix. Probably could have took out a few more pages. But it's no, you're going to do it.
Come on. All right. Go ahead.
What? Wait a minute. Willie, we got the sidebar.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't tell if we stopped or not.
We're going.
Okay, we're on. All right. So we're going to glue this here. So typically you would glue this together before you put it in a thermal cinch. I personally don't like to do that because I am notoriously bad at aligning things up.
So we're going to do a couple lines of glue here.
Mm-hmm. And make sure you get the scalloped edge on that other decorative piece.
Okay.
That's why we put that extra crease in there. Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to fold back here.
That's why that crease was in there. That was one of the reasons I added it.
I'm going to make sure all that goes down.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to do the front and the back cover. Again, you don't have to do the way I do it. This just makes sense in my brain. To do it this way.
Okay, here we go. Make sure I get up underneath all of those.
Yep. And just lay down a bead of glue. There we go. And then make sure
And
I'm
rubber.
just do a little bit more on this because you know this is going to be part of that cover.
Got it.
So we just want to make sure we get that part. Okay.
Y'all see?
Yep. And then make sure that's
yeah.
lined up. Yep. And then press it down. And I'm going to give Willie a persuader. Here you go.
Hold on, I'm trying to keep pushing glue out.
Yep. That's okay. Here. That's something to clean the glue up. Here you go. And wipe that down. Okay. And we're going to flip it over and do the back side the exact same way.
This
Now,
looks a little easier.
Yeah, it's a little easier, so it's a straightforward move. So again, you don't have to do it this way. This is just how it works in my brain. And I didn't want to glue it and then put that down in the heat, although I don't think it's a problem. I just do it after.
Yeah.
Let's put it back in the cradle. And then here's just in case something starts oozing out.
Voila.
Okay.
There you go.
Yep. Turn it over. Alright, so here's our test. This is our test if nothing falls out, but we've got it done. Like
The test is called a sticky note.
So that's fun. So now we're ready to decorate. You want to stay for this one?
Now let Brenda go ahead and complete that portion.
I'm going to decorate both of them.
Thank you all for
Thank
your patience.
Thank you, Willie.
You're welcome.
Willie said he's got to go. I'm done messing with you today.
I told you I'll work with you today.
Yep. I think we could have went a little bit less on the paper.
Yes, but lesson learned.
That's all good. So it looks turned out pretty good. I got two different unique looks.
They're almost the same thickness.
Yeah, no, this one, see, mine's a little bit thinner. I should have told you to pull out a couple of sheets.
Yeah. Might take a lot more notes.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to want this one with the notes. So, I'm not going to, normally I would do the dimensions on this, but I'm not going to do dimensions, only because it might be in someone's purse or briefcase or wherever, and I don't want it to get snagged. Now here's, I didn't recut this, but here's why I said it, I went back and redid it, because the every is by itself, and it should be attached like that. So, but we're going to make it work. But those are what those are going to look like. And then I'll do this one first. Okay, beautiful. That looks really great. This is exactly what I was looking for. You could do some more, like if I had thought about it, instead of using sequins, I could cut out some purple or little dots, and so I could have like some paper sequins on here as well. But I'm just gonna lay this wherever it lay. Yeah, there we go. That works. That's where it's gonna land, and that's where it's gonna be. And then I'm going to do this, and then we will have two notebooks. One where Willie did a good job. So if you think Willie did a good job, and I really appreciate you staying with me to this portion of the video, so let us know if you think Willie did a really good job on putting together the notebook, because he was so out of his element. I've turned that sideways, and I'm just buttoning it up against that T. And then I know it's in line, because I've just kind of get it up there. So it's straight. I love these! I have a feeling I know who's getting what. And then we'll do the same here. These would make great teacher gifts, which I think I'm going to go back and do. Especially if I had your teacher's name, like your kid's teacher's name, you can make this a book for them, like a journal for them. I think that's pretty cool and clever. Okay. So So this will give me an opportunity to do, I have an idea in mind to make a teacher's gift. Oh, that looks crooked, y'all. Can I move that? Yeah, that was crooked. Or it could be me. But there, that looks better. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing. Move it over a little bit, but butt it up against that T. And then I now know everything is straight. Not to about that. It's this to push it down. And that way I won't get any glue on my hands. Okay, so I am so happy with these. Yeah, I did a much better job cutting this one than this one. I don't know what I did wrong the second time around. I did a much better job on cutting the paper. But it's a handmade gift, so it's not going to be 100% machine perfect. And that's okay, because it's made with love. Loving hands crafts, that's what this is all about. These crafts are made with loving hands. So if you like what you've seen today, so please like, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I will talk to you guys next time. If you want me to do another notebook project, another cinch project, let me know. I do think I'm going to be doing some mini notebooks. So that would probably be my next one, because I'm just obsessed with making these small notebooks. So talk to you next time. Be blessed.